the injury situation is so intense to end up playing that game like George out, Ricky out, Trent now out, no Nick, no Fred, 12-4, 8 games with Mac, 8 games with Brock. This is a genius season from Kyle Shanahan. I don't know any other way to say this other than, look, yeah, they're dogs this weekend. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's quote-unquote supposed to look. But if you can't just kind of take a moment and enjoy this ride, I don't know how else to do this. This is absolute unbelievable theater. I bet the Niners probably helped a lot of people win their fantasy championships. Good Lord. This offense has hit the exact stride that we said a few weeks ago. Well, they better.
Yep.
They better, because the defense is just too hampered by injury, so the offense better be devastating, and oh my God, is it devastating.
And barely devastating enough, because the Bears are at the 2-yard line with a chance to still beat you. Even though you score 42, you still might lose because the defense, they struggled, and Grandy's grades tomorrow will get all the way into what he broke down as far as the defense, but the offense, my God, Brock Purdy, he is slippery, he is slithery, he is slimy, he's accurate, he's a boss, he throws the Dougie, and then beyond that, like when you need players to make plays, Ricky Pearsall makes a catch, oh, he's hurt again, comes back, makes a catch, oh, I think he's out again, and all through that, Trent Williams plays a grand total of one snap, single play.
One play and went the wrong way.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, he went the wrong way, and the way he went eventually was chasing after a guy who had the ball.
Yeah, he was running the wrong way.
Exactly.
That's not the way we want Trent Williams running. He's running the other way.
And you're not going to catch him anyway, Trent. You can go ahead and shut it down, but that's fine. And Austin Pleasance comes in and plays well enough, and the O-line was good enough, and McCaffrey was, oh my God, touch number 399 on the year. He's going to be, if he has a normal McCaffrey game on Saturday, apparently, he's going to be top 20 all time in touches per year.
Saturday thing bother you?
Not really.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised, actually. We were kind of predicting it on the show with the Panthers, Bucks, the Ravens, Steelers, and the Niners, Seahawks. And we were like, if the Niners win this game, which one do you think is the headliner? And actually, Ephraim was like, Niners, Seahawks. Look at the way that this scoring is. And this is incredible. It's so much fun. I go, right, but the Steelers-Ravens game's an elimination game.
Yep.
So it's actually a playoff game. And the Niners-Seahawks game, while fun, while dripping with intrigue, and it matters, loser's not going home. The loser is just packing and heading to the airport. And so,
and the other one's Carolina-Tampa. Well, that's also an elimination game, but I mean that's kind of the appetizer, as you like to say.
Although based on pending, there is a scenario where I think Carolina loses that football game next weekend and still wins the division.
Oh, wow.
If the Falcons win out too, I believe. If it ends up being a 3-way tie at 8-9.
Wow.
By the way, if it does, all 3 teams, you should all just get together and go away. Everyone's searching for a way to fix that whole seeding thing. Should you host a game if your division... Here would be, how in college football you have to have at least a 500 record, or you did for a long time
go to
a bowl game. You had to be 6-6 to qualify. That would be, let's start there. If you don't have a winning record, you don't host. You can't host. You can't host at 8-9. I would start there.
Yeah.
You can still win the division. You can come to the playoffs, but that number 5 wild card who invariably is going to have a really good record, they get you. They get you in their building if you went 8-9 or 7-10.
Yeah, they'll never do that. I mean, they're all about trying to reward the division champ, and I get that. And in this division where you've got 8-8, 7-9, 6-9, 6-10. Shout out New Orleans, by the way, for not going full tank mode. New Orleans is a threat now. If only we're a 28-game season, they might win the NFC South.
This Tyler Shuck guy looks like he's got a little something.
A little moxie.
A little something. Yep. So anyway, what a fun year it's been. It's not over yet. We kind of know who all the playoff teams are going to be, except for the whole Tampa-Carolina thing and the Baltimore-Pittsburgh thing. But outside of that, it's just kind of how does the deck shuffle itself. And the fact that the Niners are right in the middle of all of that with everything still on the line is absolutely incredible. And as of this morning on FanDuel, Kyle Shanahan has jumped the field, and I wonder how many of you know this. As of today, Kyle Shanahan is the favorite to win Coach of the Year in the NFL. Over Vrabel.
Over Vrabel, yeah.
Over Liam Cohen. Over Mike McDonald, which, of course, will probably flip if Mike McDonald wins this game coming up this weekend. But Kyle Shanahan, I think I've thought all along was not going to be him because he's like too accomplished and too respected going in. But the injury situation is so intense to end up playing that game. No Fred, no Nick, no Trent, no George, 42 points against
no Michael.
Right.
I mean, all the way through it.
And going against another 11-4 team, I don't know, man. I know it triggers a lot of Niner fans through the years whenever they're like, why does everyone call him a genius? How about now? I'll at least say this is a genius season from Kyle Shanahan. 8 games with Mac, 8 games with Brock, very few, like George out, Ricky out, Trent now out, no Nick, no Fred, 12-4? This is the definition of Coach of the Year.
It's been a masterclass, and if you look at the red zone offense, they are number 2 behind Philly, and yesterday they were 5 for 5 in the red zone, and so even though the game starts in the worst possible way, other than fumbling the kickoff and having them score on that play, they scored on the next play. And I'm watching with my father-in-law, shout out Pop, and my wife is there, my daughter's whatever, playing Candyland, beating up on somebody else other than me for a change. And
that's nice.
My wife is like, wait, oh my God, is that how the game starts? And I'm like, yeah, it starts, you're down 7-0. And the overarching feeling in the room was like, oh boy, this one,
yeah.
This ain't going to be good.
No, I know. It's like, oh gosh, they're going against an actual team. The Bears lead the NFL in turnovers.
Yep.
And it was funny. Again,
and it was a great play, too. Great. Yeah. It was not a bad throw, per se.
He shouldn't have thrown it. He got. Like, yep. Johnson stepped. He knew the route. He stepped in front of it. He made a play. He's a great player. This is what the Bears do. This is how they've won their games. Look at their point differential. I think the Bears come in now today. They're 11-5. I think it's plus 29.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's very small for that kind of a record.
Way behind Detroit, who's 8-8.
Right. But what Chicago does is they turn you over. They lead in turnovers. They lead in turnover differential. The whole key to the game yesterday was to protect the ball. One play in, they didn't do it. The rest of the way, they did.
Yep.
And therefore outscored them by pretty much 2 touchdowns
the rest of the way.
Yep. So, and that'll be the key again this weekend. Seattle's a very, very good defense.
It's going to be the key the rest of the way. Like, no matter who you face in the playoffs, and ultimately they could wind up as the 6th seed, right? And they could go...
The Niners?
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually most likely if they lose.
If they lose, they'll be the 6th, unless the Rams lose. And, you get into all those machinations of, what the Falcons can do, to change things in the South, whatever. That wouldn't affect what the Rams are going to be. But if they wind up as the 6th, then, okay, you're going to have to go to Chicago in a rematch game in, the cold confines, the drafty nature of Soldier Field, depending on how they do.
Yeah. The Bears they have their tiebreaker over Philly. They beat them on Black Friday.
Right.
But all of this depends on what they all do this weekend. That's the other thing. Very few playoff teams can just be like, we're resting. We'll take the last week off, like often is the case.
Right.
But the 1 seed is in doubt in both conferences. The Packers are the 7, and I think the Chargers are locked in somewhere.
Yeah, and the Chargers just announced that they're resting Herbert.
They're not locked in, by the way, but I think they're just waving the white flag. They're kind of like 5, 6, 7, whatever. Our quarterback's hand is broken, so we're gonna go ahead and take the L on this one. But yeah, everybody's got something to play for this weekend.
Pretty fun. Yeah. Even through 17 games and, the Niner game being a Saturday marquee, I don't mind. And it's a double short week, whatever. And it's going to be here. And so, yeah, you go ahead and do what you do. And then Sunday, you clear the decks. And I don't know if this automatically means they'll play Saturday in the wild card round. I heard that thrown out as like, well, they're doing this. That way, whoever loses will play on Saturday next week. Feels to me like the Niners will be a marquee Sunday game.
Yeah, I don't think that's locked in at all. I think the thought is that Carolina-Tampa thing, whatever, will probably be a Saturday game. So they're playing on Saturday. But the loser between the Niners and Seahawks is no lock to end up being the team that gets to go to Carolina or Tampa.
And I wonder who is the Monday night, like, we bury you on Monday night. Not that it's a burial, but that's usually the Saturday, the first game on Saturday is the game the NFL's least interested in.
Right.
But then you have the standalone Monday game, and normally you don't put one of your marquee teams in there.
That's got Jacksonville written all over it.
Jacksonville, Houston, right?
Yeah,
one of those two.
Yeah,